I saw the cardboard fly off the TV tray. Hello spook lovers, and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is your first time coming by, I'm giving you a big hug. It's nice to meet you. My name's Julia. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to come by. I'll throw it out there early. Subscribe, join my family. Also guys, I'm getting so frustrated. I would say, oh, click the bell to join the notification squad, but so many of you guys are like, I'm part of your notification squad and do not get your notifications. I heard that you have to adjust the settings or something like that, but I don't know. I don't know why YouTube does not like promoting my videos. Like, I feel like I follow the guidelines. So if you could take a quick second to pause the video and give this video a like, that would probably help. I really don't know what else to do, how to get YouTube to share my videos anymore. But we're in the bougie background, like I've said in I think one of my other paranormal storytime videos, because it's nighttime and even during the day it's been so hot lately, like I can't even film outside. And I feel like some of the things that have been happening, I don't know, I haven't really been threatened or scared, so I'm like, oh, it's fine to film in the house, I guess. And Penelope's getting baptized next week too, so I'm like, all right. Anyways, some more paranormal things have been happening. If you missed my last video, I'll link it up here, and then I'll link my most recent 3 paranormal story times down below. I'll put like videos mentioned, and then I'll put most recent to least recent, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th line I'll put just my paranormal playlist, because I have so many paranormal videos. So if you're in the mood to binge watch, there will be that. So I've been writing things down as they've been happening, and real quick, a little backstory. My baby Penelope, she is gonna be 4 months on the 21st of this month, and ever since she's been born, it's been like spooky things galore. And when I was pregnant with her, I had a lot of more kind of psychic type things, and then some evil things happening, which those will be one of the videos linked. But yeah, so the first thing I had written down that happened actually happened with Jesse, which it takes a lot to spook him for him to be like, okay, that was spooky. Jesse's my husband if you're new to my channel. So this happened one day. I think he was home for his lunch break, and he was standing in our kitchen, and he said, so pretend I'm Jesse, right? And over on this side is our hallway, and then kind of behind me would be the kitchen, and then, you know, the front door is kind of off that way, and where you guys are is my living room. So he was standing right here, and he said he saw something white. He's like, he didn't really say specifically what it was. He just saw something like a white shadow, if that makes any sense, or like a white figure go from the hallway and kind of behind him. And I was sitting on the couch kind of where you guys were, and he kind of was like, whoa. And I was like, what happened? And he was like, I thought I just saw something white kind of flash by me or move by me. And I was like, no way. Which again, that was so weird for me, because he never has anything happen to him. So that was kind of weird. Another thing is, which if you watched my last paranormal story, this is kind of weird. So basically in that video, my cousins had seen something walk from Penelope's room into our room. And so going to what happened to me, I was in my bathroom. I think I was like, I don't know, brushing my teeth or brushing my hair or something. And it was in the morning, and Penelope was sleeping, and I was by myself. Jesse was at work. So new setup. I'm in my bathroom, and along this way, kind of back by you guys are, and back that way is our hallway, and then on the other side of the hallway is more bedrooms, and Penelope's room is kind of not quite right next to the bathroom doorway, but it's a little bit further back, and then ours is right next to that, back even further down the hallway. So I was standing there, and I went to turn to grab something off a shelf kind of this way, and out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw something black, like almost like the end of a coat or something like that, go from Penelope's room back towards my room. And I don't know, that could have been, you know how sometimes maybe like if your hair, I don't know, because I don't have black hair or sometimes you just see things out of the corner of your eye. It was one of those scenarios. And so I kind of was like a little bit spooked, and I went and looked. And we do have 3 dogs, and one of them is black, but they were not anywhere near. They weren't in Penelope's room, and they weren't in our room either. So it definitely wasn't one of them. I don't really know what it was. So the next thing that happened, it was 4th of July, and 2 of my dogs don't really care about fireworks, but one of them, she just gets sketchy. Like she'll go outside and she'll try to go potty, but then she wants to run back inside really quick. She just doesn't want to be outside. Rightfully so, I understand. So it was late at night. I was taking them out for their last time to go potty, and Jessie was already asleep and Penelope was asleep. So it's just me by myself, and I was trying to get Roro is the one who is scared. If you guys know any of my dogs, Roro's the big white coyote looking one. So I was out there trying to get her to go potty, and then she ran back towards our door, which I feel like it's so hard to understand where things are. But okay, here's a corner, right? Let's say my front door is back over here, and then we have our laundry room, and then there's a corner, and then here's like a patio, and then our backyard's out here. So to get from the backyard to the door, you have to kind of go around the corner, if that makes any sense. So she had ran back here, and I had assumed she went to sit by the door because she wanted to go in. So I was like, oh gosh, whatever. I got the other dogs. I'm like, let's go inside. And I turned the corner and she wasn't there. Now there is a little area back here that leads to like a little shed type thing. So I was like, but the dogs never go over there. So I was like, maybe she's in the corner over there. And so when I turned the corner, she wasn't there either. And at that point, I freaked out because I for sure knew I had shut the door behind me, because I didn't want one of the dogs to try to run inside and push the door open, and then it would slam against the counter and be really loud because Jessie and Penelope were sleeping. So I for sure shut the door all the way, so that way if the dogs tried to get inside, they wouldn't be able to open the door until I came around to open the door, if that makes any sense at all. So at this point I was freaking out because I was like, where did she go? And so I'm getting a little frantic. I'm like, Roro, Roro. And I'm like, gosh, did she run past me and go back in the backyard without me seeing her? So I ran back in the backyard. I looked all around the backyard. She's not there. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, did she somehow jump the huge gate and get out? Because I know sometimes when dogs are really scared, they'll do crazy things to get out of their yard or whatever. So I'm freaking out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because she's such a skittish dog. And I'm like, oh. So I'm frantic and calling her. And I'm like really starting to panic. And then I see her pop up in the window on the door, and she was inside. So then I'm like, what the heck, did Jessie wake up and come let her in? So I go inside and I look, and Jessie's asleep, and I woke him up. I'm like, did you let Roro in? And he was like, no. So I seriously do not know how she got inside. It was really, really weird. Now this next one is freaky because I saw it happen. So this was in the middle of the night. Penelope woke up and I woke up, and I sat up and I was getting ready to get her out of, she sleeps in a pack and play type thing by our bed. And right across from our bed is our dresser, and there was an empty water bottle on it, and it flew off the dresser. Which you could say, oh, it was the air conditioning or a fan, but the fans were not pointed towards it. And if there was a draft or something like that, it would have already fallen off. Like, how could it have gone all night without falling off? And then all of a sudden, as soon as I wake up in the middle of the night, I see it fly off. So that really freaked me out. I woke up Jessie and I told him, I was like, the freaking water bottle just flew off the dresser by itself. And if you remember in my last video, Penelope was actually watching something walking by the dresser in the middle of the night one time. So I don't know, something likes to hang out, I think, in our room, which this next thing is really creepy. So this actually happened 2 nights ago. So I had got Penelope to sleep and put her in her little bed by our bed. And once she's asleep and I put her down, I kind of wait a minute or two, because sometimes she'll wake back up, but she'll be crying like, I'm not asleep yet. But if I lay her down and it's been like 2 or 3 minutes, she's usually out and done for the night. Like, she's asleep. So I put her down and she was fast asleep, and Jessie was actually sick and he was in the bathroom. So I was like, oh, let me go check on Jessie. So I went and checked on Jessie, asked him if he needed anything, and he said, oh yeah, could you get me some ice water? So I went in the kitchen, got him his water, and then before I went back in the bathroom, I just kind of peeked just to check on her, and she was still fast asleep, exactly the same position I had left her. Gave him his water, made sure he was okay, and then when I opened the bathroom door, I heard Penelope laughing. And it takes a lot to get her to laugh. She smiles a lot, but to get her to laugh, which her laugh is hilarious. She doesn't have like a typical little kid giggly laugh. She literally like laughs. It's so funny. But anyways, to get her to laugh, you have to tickle her, and even then, sometimes if you tickle her or bite on her shoulder, that always gets her to laugh. It's still hit or miss sometimes. So to hear her laughing and nobody's with her, I was like, what the heck? And I was like, maybe she's laughing in her sleep, which I've never heard her do. So I walk in, and she's wide awake, like looking up, laughing. So she was looking up and laughing at something. Now, again, if you're familiar with all my paranormal stories, Jesse's Tata and Nana have passed, and they visit us a lot, especially his Tata, and especially when I was pregnant. Him and Penelope have a really good connection that started when she was in my belly. So I kind of feel like it might be Jesse's Nana or Tata who was playing with her, and I don't know, it was funny because that night Jesse had been sick and I was just exhausted from taking care of Penelope and like making sure Jesse was okay. And I had been kind of going through a rough time too. So that night before we had went to bed, I took her outside and I was just praying out loud. I was like, dear God, like, you know, please continue to help me. Please continue to give me strength. And I prayed to his Nana and Tata too. I was like, please keep helping me with her and everything like that. Because I just really felt like I was getting like lots of help, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, I honestly feel like it was Jesse's Nana or Tata playing with her, and maybe that's who it is that she was looking at walking by the dresser. Maybe they were the ones who knocked the water bottle off. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, that I didn't feel like was them. That I was scared. I was like, what the heck? So another thing that happened was one morning, it was really early. It was like, I don't know, 6 in the morning. I had just gotten done feeding Penelope and I put her back to sleep. And I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was like, oh, let me try to pump some milk. Because I've been noticing if I pump super early in the morning, I can get a decent amount. So I went to Penelope's room because, I don't know, it's just so peaceful in there. I love the vibe in her room. And I just wanted to relax and try to get some milk. So I was only doing one at a time because with my other hand, I had my phone and I was responding to comments. Now, how my pump thing works, or how they suggest it to work, is there's like a warm-up mode that they say to do for 2 to 3 minutes and then switch over to the pumping mode or whatever. And so I was on the warm-up mode, and how the pump is, it's kind of like a soft touch screen where it doesn't have buttons, but you touch it to go to the next mode. Kind of like a phone, I guess. So I'm sitting there and both my hands are full. Like one hand is holding the pump, the other I'm responding to comments on my phone. And the pump switches from the warm-up mode to the pump mode by itself. And I looked at the time and it was like, it had been like 4 minutes and it was kind of time like for me to switch to the pump mode. And I guess I just got sidetracked. And I don't know, I guess you could say, oh, maybe it was a malfunction. There could be a logical explanation for that, but it's never done that before. And again, my first thought, like I think I might have even said it out loud. I was like, oh, thanks, Nana or Tata. Like, I don't know, I just for some reason felt like one of them was like, oh, you got your hands full and it's time for it to switch, so here, we'll press the button for you. I know that sounds crazy and weird, especially if you don't believe in this stuff. You're probably like, this girl is a loony bird, but I don't know, I just thought that was really weird. And the last thing that's happened actually last night. So my aunt had gotten Penelope a Disney princess blanket from Costco, and it came with like a cardboard shell wrapped around it, and we had just taken the blanket out and the shell was on a TV tray in our living room, and Jesse and I were on the floor getting Penelope to roll over, and the TV tray was right in front of me. I was straight up facing the TV tray, so like right where you guys are, and I saw the cardboard fly off the TV tray. Just like the water bottle. It was very similar. It just like flew off. And Jesse turned around and was like, what the heck? What happened? And I was like, it did it by itself. There's no dog there. There's no fan pointing towards it. There was no explanation. So that was really freaky, and we kind of were like, oh man. So that's kind of what's been happening. Again, just a bunch of little things. For the most part, I don't feel scared. I don't feel threatened or anything. Like, I'm not scared to wake up in the middle of the night by myself. I'm not scared to be in my house by myself. So that makes me think either it's Jesse's nana or tata, or it's, you know, something that doesn't really mean harm. Oh, and I forgot this part. So last video I mentioned that the Xbox in our room on our dresser turns on by itself. And I had asked you guys, like, does that do that? And a lot of you guys were like, no, Xboxes won't just turn themselves on like that. So that kind of stopped for a while. And then as soon as creepy things started happening again, the Xbox is now turning on by itself again every once in a while. So I don't know. Maybe it's a kid or something. I don't know. Maybe it's a kid spirit and it's attracted to Penelope or something and it wants to play Xbox and it wants attention. I really don't know. But yeah, that's all the paranormal things that have been happening. Per usual, I will keep you guys updated if anything else happens. I know you guys are always commenting, more paranormal story times, more paranormal story times. And I love telling you guys when things happen, but sometimes things just don't happen. So yeah, if we don't get another one of these for a while, just know that means nothing's happening. And I'm sorry, I'm really not somebody who, I don't want to invite things in. I don't want to make things happen just so I can have a story to tell you guys, just because I don't know. I think I'll feel a lot better once Penelope gets baptized. So anyways, thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day to watch this. I'll see you in the next video, and don't let the bed bugs bite.